Hello, book lovers and English learners. Welcome to our January and February live read along. I'm Lydie Bureau. I'm an English teacher in France and also the founder of Lydie's Book Club, a book club for learners of English. In this book club, I host live readings and discussion workshop on adaptations of classics of literature and contemporary novels in their original text. I also tend to prioritize books that are written by women. Each month, we read and explore a different book for all levels of English. And at the same time, during the week, I host live reading session on Instagram and Zoom for free. And to be able to attend those live reading sessions, you just need to subscribe to the newsletter to get your free link. Also, 3 times a month with the member of the book club, we meet in a live discussion workshop via Zoom to talk about the chapters read over the week. And this is the best way for the members of the book club to improve their speaking and also their critical thinking skills. It's a chance for people to be part of a beautiful community of book lovers, kindred spirits, and also decide on the next books to read. So since January, we are currently reading. We are reading since January we've been reading the original text of this book. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. She is an American writer, and this book was published in 2016. And if you want to know more about this book and Colleen Hoover's work and life, I invite you to listen to the podcast episode 29 of the podcast Read in English, the podcast of the book club. And this podcast is available on YouTube, but also on Spotify. And today it is our live read along session 14, and we are going to read chapters 21 and 22. This Saturday, I will host our fifth live discussion workshop to talk about chapters 17 to 22. And if you want to attend this workshop, you just need to subscribe to the book club by clicking on the link in the description, or just go to lydiasbookclub.com. And it will be the best way for you to improve your English and practice your reading skills in English. Right. So, as I usually do during my live readings, I like to do a quick recap of the chapters that we read in the previous live, and which was yesterday, so Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we read chapter 19 and 20. In chapter 19, we learned that Lily's mother is quite upset because she didn't really accept the fact that they went to get married in Las Vegas. So Ryle and Lily decided a little bit in the rush or in the heat of the moment to get married in Las Vegas. So, hi, thank you for joining the live. So she is a little bit upset about this, but then quickly Lily manages to smooth things over. Um, and after she hang up the phone with her mother, uh, Ryle, well, she hangs up the phone because Ryle arrives in at the flat, and because he basically lives with her now. They spend a lot of time. They yeah spend a lot of time together, and now they're married, so they live at Lily's home, at Lily's flat. And he gets home. They have a lovely time, and I don't know, the a couple minutes, yeah, a couple hours later, they are about to meet up with Eliza and Marshall. So Lily goes quickly to have a shower. And while she is in the shower, Ryle drops her phone accidentally, and he finds out that um, he finds out um, so that yeah so he finds out, sorry, I don't know why I blanked. So he finds out that she had Atlas's phone number in hidden between the cover, the phone case, and the phone. So he gets really angry and doesn't really give Lily a chance to explain herself, explain the situation, and he starts leaving the. Yes, he leaves the apartment, um, and Lily runs after him because she wants to explain to him what's going on, what happened with Atlas's number. But Ryle doesn't listen to her, and he is acting, he's overreacting, and he starts coming down the stairs, and Lily is behind him trying to catch him. And when she is close to him, he turns around and he pushed her again, and she fell down the stairs. So he went really hard here. And at first, and then a couple minutes later, she finally regained consciousness. And Ryle says to her at first, "You fell. You fell in the stairs." But then slowly she starts remembering all the events that all the order of it, the order of events, and she remembers that she was running after him in the stairs and that he actually pushed her. So she yells at him and asks him to leave the apartment. She just kicks him out of the apartment. She doesn't want to see his face. Chapter 20 now. Hello, thank you for joining the live. So I'm doing a recap of the chapters read uh, yesterday. We're currently reading this book, It Ends With Us, and I'm doing a quick recap of chapter 19 and 20. Um, so let me know if you read this book, or if it's new. Did you read it in French or in another language? Or maybe you didn't. Let me know if you know this book. Um, So, chapter 20, Lily is feeling a little bit better and she is on her way to the shop to work. And there, Eliza, who works with her, of course, um, she got really worried because they were waiting for them. So Eliza and Marshall were waiting for them the night where they had a fight. And Lily did not because oh yeah, now I remember also that the phone, so Ryle broke her phone. He threw the phone at her and on the floor, and he broke her phone. Hello, Mariam. Thank you for joining this live. Hello. Yes, I have already read this book, but in French. Okay, nice. Plus jamais. Yes. Um, what did I want to say? So what level do you have in English? Because I will be reading the chapter in English today. So if if you have time and if you're happy to stay tuned, I'll be happy to read your comments while I'm reading the book. I think I have a B2C one. Oh, nice. Good level. Amazing. And where do you live? Are you based in Bordeaux or somewhere else in France? I'd love to know. Um, Yay, of course. Nice. It would be nice to hear what you feel about the story. Oh, you live in Strasbourg. Nice. I've been to Strasbourg a couple years ago now. Yes, and it was during Christmas, and we went to the Christmas market and everything. It was so amazing. Beautiful. It's so beautiful at Christmas time. Very busy, lot of people, very busy, but so nice. It's very special Christmas there. Yeah. Oh, amazing. That's great. So it's great that you already know the story and that, yes, a lot of people, definitely. Yeah, I have a cousin and an aunt who lives there, a little bit of family. So that's why I went there, I went to visit them. Ah. Yeah, so if you're interested in improving your English and practicing your English with the book club, then you're more than welcome. We have started reading the book, and on Saturday mornings, I host live workshop discussions where the members of the book club can share their thoughts on the chapters. So this Saturday, for example, we're going to discuss chapters 17 to 22. So I'll be asking you questions about what is happening in this chapter. Can you tell me why, I don't know, why Lily's mother is upset? This kind of questions. And yeah, the idea is that you talk, not me. But it's always lovely to exchange um, around the book, but also um, around your own opinion about the book. So if you want to join us this Saturday or the next Saturday, it will be lovely to have you. You can join the book club by going to lydiasbookclub.com. You just go to the website and you can join us if you want to. definitely. It would be definitely a great thing to have uh, a bigger group and have more people to join the book club and practice your English at the same time. Hello. Hello, Camila Castillo, maybe. Thank you for joining the live. I'll think about it. Yeah, sure. Definitely. Um, Thank you for joining this live. So, as I was just saying, I'm doing a quick recap of chapters 19 and 20. I'm going to start reading chapter 21 after I've finished the book. I've finished doing the recap of chapter 20. Did you read this book, Camila? I'm not sure if it's actually your name, but let me know if you read this book in English or if you have read it in French or in another language, maybe, and or if you haven't, let me know. All right, so chapter 20. So Ryle is at the shop with Eliza, and Eliza wants Lily to take the time to hear Ryle, to hear what Ryle has to say. And in fact, we learned that when Ryle and Eliza were young, um, Ryle accidentally shot his brother with a gun. So he killed his brother when he was 6 years old, and his brother was maybe 7. And and he lives with this trauma and this guilt since he's been living this guilt. I'm sorry, I can't stay long, but I will contact you maybe in DM. Yes, of course. If you have any questions, send me a message and I'll be happy to explain you how the book club works and and whatever question you might have around the book club. Sure. Okay, so he explains that to her, and Lily is um, really shocked to hear about that. Cool, thank you very much. No problem. So Lily is really shocked to hear that and feels sorry for him. Thank you for joining, Mariam, and see you soon, maybe. See you soon. Um, so she's sad for him. She's more sad for him than she is she is for herself, which is kind of a funny turn of event when you look at the situation. It's quite ironic that in the end she feels more sorry for him than for herself. But uh, she likes that she knows more about him now than before. Hello, Veronique. Thank you for joining the live. I'm going to read the chapters of this book. I'm going to read 2 chapters of this book today, chapter 21 and 22. If you have any questions, let me know if you read this book or not. Right. So, chapter 21. I'm heading out. Um, I'm heading out. You need me to do anything else? I look up from the paperwork and shake my head. Thank you, Serena. See you tomorrow. She nods and walks away, leaving the door to my office open. Eliza's last day was 2 weeks ago. She's due any day now. I have two other full-time employees, Serena and Lucy. Yes, that Lucy. Oh, her former roommate? She's been married for a couple of months now and came in looking for a job 2 weeks ago. It's actually worked out pretty well. It's actually worked out pretty well. She keeps herself busy, and if I'm here when she is in, when she is, I just keep my office door shut so I don't have to listen to her sing. It's been almost a month since the incident in the stairs. Even with everything Ryle told me about his childhood, the forgiveness was still hard to come by. I know Ryle has a temper. I saw it the first night we met, before we ever even spoke a word to each other. I saw it that awful night in my kitchen. I saw it when he found the phone number in my phone case. But I also see the difference between Ryle and my father. Ryle is compassionate. He does things my father never never would have done. He donates to charity. He cares about other people. He puts me before everything. Ryle would never in a million years make me park in a driveway while he took the garage. I have to remind myself of those things. Sometimes the girl inside of me, the daughter of my father, is really opinionated. She tells me I shouldn't have forgiven him. She tells me I should have left the first time. And sometimes I believe that voice. But then the side of me that knows Ryle understands that marriages aren't perfect. Sometimes there are moments that both parties regret. And I wonder how I'd feel about myself had I just left him after that first incident. He never should have pushed me, but I also did things I wasn't proud of. And if I'd just left, would that not be going against our marriage vows, for better or for worse? I refuse to give up on my marriage that easily. Hi, thank you for joining the live. I am reading this book. I'm reading chapter 21. If you want to join in, let me know if you've read this book. It's called It Ends With Us. Let me know if you've read it in French or in another language. I'd love to know what what's your experience with that, if you read this book or not. Let me know. Um, I refuse to give up on my marriage that easily. I am a strong woman. I've been around abusive situations my whole life. I will never become my mother. I believe that 100%. I believe that 100%. And Ryle will never become my father. I think we needed what happened in the stairwell to happen so that I would now I would know his past and would be able to work on it together. Hey, hello, Joko. How are you? Last week, we got into another fight. I was scared. The other two fights we'd gotten into did not end well. And I knew this would be a testament to whether or not our agreement for me to help him through his anger would work. We were discussing his career. He is finished with his residency now, and there is a 3 month specialized course in Cambridge, England, he applied for. He'll find out soon if he was approved, but it's not why I was upset. It's a great opportunity, and I'll never ask him not to go. 3 months is nothing with how busy we are. So that's Sorry, it's a great opportunity. I never ask him not to go. 3 months is nothing with how busy we are, so that wasn't even what got me so upset. I became upset when he discussed what he wanted to do after the Cambridge trip was over. He was offered a job in Minnesota at the Mayo Clinic and he wants us to move there. He said Mass General is rated the second is rated the Mass General is probably the name of the hospital is rated the second best neurological hospital in the world. Mayo Clinic is number one. Oh, Mass General, that's probably the New York hospital or clinic. He said he never intended to stay in Boston. Oh, in Boston. They're not, they don't live in New York, they live in Boston, sorry. He said he never intended to stay in Boston forever. I told him that would have been a good subject to bring up when we discussed our futures on the flight to get married in Vegas. I can't leave Boston. My mother lives here. Eliza lives here. He told me it was only a 5 hour flight and that we could visit as often as we wanted. I told him it was pretty hard to run a flower business when you live several states away. The fight continued to escalate, and both of us were getting angrier by the second. At one point, he knocked a vase full of flowers off the table and onto the floor. We both just stared at them for a moment. I was scared, wondering if I had made the right decision to stay, to trust that we could work on his anger issue together. He took a deep breath and he said, I'm going to leave for an hour or two. I think I need to walk away. When I get back, we'll continue this discussion. He walked out the door, and true to his word, he came back an hour later when he was much calmer. He dropped his keys on the table and then walked straight to where I was standing. He took my face in his hands and he said, I told you I wanted to be the best in my field, Lily. I told you this first night we ever met. It was one of my naked truths. But if I have to choose between working at the best hospital in the world and making my wife happy, I choose you. You are my success. As long as you're happy, I don't care where I work. We'll stay in Boston. Mhm. That's when I knew that I had made the right choice. Everyone deserves another chance, especially the people who mean the most to you. It's been a week since that fight, and he hasn't mentioned moving again. I feel bad, like I thwarted his plan in some way. But marriage is about compromise. It's about doing what's best for the couple as a whole, not individually. And staying in Boston is better for everyone in both of our families. Speaking of families, I look over at my phone right as a text from Eliza comes through. Eliza, are you finished up at work yet? I need your opinion on furniture. Me, be there in 15 minutes. I don't know if it's the impending I don't know if it's the impending delivery or the fact that she's not currently working, but I'm pretty sure I've spent more time at her house this week than I have at my own. I close up the shop and head toward her apartment. When I step off the elevator, there is a note taped to her apartment door. I see my name written across it, so I pull it off the door. Lily, on the 7th floor, apartment 749. A. She has an apartment here just for extra furniture? I know they're rich, but even that seems a little excessive for them. I get on the elevator and press the button for the 7th floor. When the doors open, I head down the hall toward apartment 749. When I reach it, I have no idea if I should knock or just go inside. For all I know, someone could live here, probably one of her people. I know one of I know I knock on the door and I hear footsteps from the other side. I shocked I'm shocked when the door swings open and Ryle is standing in front of me. Hey, I say, confused. What are you doing here? He grinds and leans against the door frame. I live here. What are you doing here? I glance at the pewter number, the pewter number plate next to the door and then back at him. What do you mean you live here? I thought you lived with me. You've had your own apartment this whole time? I would think an apartment, I would think an entire apartment would be something a husband would bring up to his wife at some point. It's a little unnerving. Actually, it's ludicrous and deceptive. I think I might be really angry at him right now. Rye laughs and pushes off the door frame. Now he's filling up the entire doorway as he lifts his hands to the frame over his head and grips it. I haven't really had a chance to tell you, but this apartment, considering I just signed the paperwork on it this morning. I take a step back. Wait, what? He reaches for my hand and pulls me inside the apartment. Welcome home, Lily. I pause in the foyer. Yes, I said the foyer. There is a foyer. A foyer is where there is a fire, the fireplace. You bought an apartment? He nods slowly, gauging my reaction. You bought an apartment? I repeat. He's still nodding. I did. Is that okay? I figured since we live together now, we could use the extra room. I spin in a slow circle. When my eyes land on the kitchen, I pause. It's not as big as Eliza's kitchen, but it's just as white and almost as beautiful. There is a wine cooler and a dishwasher, two things my old apartment doesn't have. I walk into the kitchen and look around, scared to touch anything. Is this really my kitchen? This can't be my kitchen. I look in I look in the living room at the cathedral ceiling and the huge windows overlooking Boston Harbor. Lily, he says from behind me, you're mad. You aren't mad, are you? I spin and face him, realizing that he has been waiting on me to react for the past several minutes. But I'm completely speechless. I shake my head and bring my hand up to cover my mouth. I don't think so, I whisper. He walks up to me and takes my hands in his, pulling them up between us. You don't think so? He looks worried and confused. Please give me a naked truth because I'm starting to think maybe I shouldn't have done this as a surprise. I look down at the hardwood floor. It's real hardwood. It's not laminate. Okay, I say, looking back at him. I think it's crazy that you just went and bought an apartment without me. I feel like that's something we should have done together. He's nodding, and it looks like he's about to spin out an apology, but I'm not finished. But my naked truth is that it's perfect. I don't even know what to say, right? Everything is so clean. I'm scared to move. I might get something dirty. He blows out a rush of hair and pulls me to him. You can get it dirty, babe. It's yours. You can get it as dirty as you want. He kisses the side of my head, and I don't even say thank you yet. It seems like such a small response to such a huge gesture. When do we move in? He shrugs. Tomorrow? I have the day off. It's not like we have a whole lot of stuff. We can spend the next few weeks buying new furniture. I nod, trying to run through tomorrow's schedule in my head. I already knew Ryan was off tomorrow, so I didn't have anything planned. I suddenly feel the need to sit down. There. There aren't. Oh, sorry. There aren't any chairs, but luckily the floor is clean. I need to sit down. Ryle helps me to the floor and then he lowers himself in front of me, still holding my hands. Does Eliza know? I ask him. He smiles and nods his head. She's so excited, Lily. I've been thinking about getting an apartment here for a while now. After we decided to stay in Boston for good, with it. I just went ahead with it to surprise you. She helped, but I was starting to worry she'd tell you before I had the chance. I just can't wrap my head around this. I live here. Me and Eliza get to be neighbors now? I don't know why I feel like this should bother me. But I don't know why I feel like this should bother me because I really am excited about it. He smiles and then says, I know you need a minute to process everything, but you haven't seen the best part, and it's killing me. Show me. He grinds and pulls me to my feet. We make our way through the living room and down the hallway. He opens each door and tells me what the rooms are, but doesn't even give me time to go in any of them. By the time we make it to the master bedroom, sorry, I've concluded that we live in a three-bedroom, two-bath apartment with an office. I don't even have time to process the beauty of the bedroom as he pulls me across the room. He reaches a wall covered by a curtain and he turns and faces me. It's not a ground that you can plant a garden. It's not a ground that you can plant a garden in, but with a few pots, I can come close. It can come close, sorry. He pulls the curtain aside and opens the door, revealing a huge balcony. I follow him outside, already daydreaming about all the potted plants I could fit up here. It overlooks the same view as the rooftop deck, he says. We always have we always have the same view we had from the night we met. It's romantic. It took a while to sink in, but it all hits me in this moment, and I just start crying. Rao pulls me to his chest and wraps his arms tightly around me. Lily, he whispers, running his hand over my hair. I didn't mean to make you cry. I laugh between my tears. I just can't believe I live here. I pull away from his chest and look up at him. Are we rich? How can you afford this? He laughs. You married a neurosurgeon, Lily. You aren't necessarily strapped for cash. Oh my gosh. His comment makes me laugh. And then I cry some more. And then we have our first visitor because someone begins pounding on the door. Eliza, he says, she's been waiting down the hall. I run to the front door and swing it open, and we both hug and squeal, and I might even cry a little more. We spend the rest of the evening at our new apartment. Ryle orders Chinese takeout, and Marshall comes down to eat with us. We have no tables or chairs yet, so the four of us sit in the middle of the living room floor and eat straight out of the containers. We talk about how we'll decorate. We talk about all the neighborly things we will do together. We talk about Eliza's impending delivery. It's everything and more. I can't wait to tell my mother. Sorry, I paused. So This is the end of chapter 21. This is a whole fairy tale here. Well, not so much as you know about the fights that happened between them. But it's a mixture of fairy tale and drama. Hmm. Right. So, chapter 22. Eliza is 3 days overdue. We've lived in our new apartment for a week now. We successfully got all of our all of our stuff moved the day Rye was off. And Eliza and I went furniture shopping the second day we moved in. We were practically settled by the third day. We got our first piece of mail yesterday. It was a utility bill for establishing service, so it finally feels official now. I'm married. I have a great husband, an awesome house. My best friend just happens to be my sister-in-law, and I'm about to be an aunt. Dare I say it? But can my life get any better? I close my laptop and get ready to leave for the evening. I've been leaving early now than I usually do because I'm so excited to get home to my new apartment. Just as I begin to close my office door, Ryle uses his key to open the front door to the store. He lets the door fall shut behind him as he walks in with his hands full. There is a newspaper tucked under his arm and 2 coffees on his hand. Despite the frenzied look about him and the urgency in his step, he is smiling. Lily, he says, walking toward me. He shoves one of the coffees in my hand and then pulls the newspaper out from under his arm. 3 things. One, did you see the paper? He hands it he hands it to me. The paper is folded inside out. He points at the article. You got it, Lily. You got it. I try not to get my hopes up as I look down at the article. He could be talking about something totally different from what I'm thinking. Once I read the headline, I realize it's talking about exactly what I was thinking. I got it. I'd been not I'd been notified that my business was nominated for an award for Best of Boston. It's a People's Choice Awards the newspaper holds annually, and Lily Blooms was nominated under Best New Business in Boston category. The criteria are for businesses that have been open less than 2 years. I had a suspicion I might have been chosen when a reporter for the paper called me last week and asked me a series of questions. The title reads Best New Businesses in Boston. Votes are in for your top 10. I smile and almost spill my coffee when Ryle pulls me in, picks me up, and spins me around. He said he had 3 pieces of news, and if he started with that one, I have no idea what the other 2 could be. What's the second thing? He sets me back down on my feet and says, I started with the best one. I was too excited. He takes a sip of his coffee and then says, I got selected for the training at Cambridge. My face is taken over by a huge smile. You did? He nods and then he hugs me and spins me around again. I'm so proud of you, I say, kissing him. We're both we are both so successful. It's sickening. He laughs. Number 3? I ask him. He pulls back. Oh yeah, number 3. He casually leans against the counter and takes a slow sip of his coffee. He gently places his coffee back on the counter. Eliza, is in labor. What? I yell. Yeah. He nods toward our coffees. That's why I brought you caffeine. We aren't getting any sleep tonight. I start clapping, jumping up and down, and then panicking as I try to find my purse, my jacket, my keys, my phone, the light switch. Right before we make it to the door, Rye rushes back to the counter and grabs the newspaper and ducks it under his arm. My hands are shaking with excitement as I lock the door. We're gonna be aunts, I say as I run to my car. Rye laughs at my jokes and at my joke and says, Uncles, Lily. We're gonna be uncles. Marshall calmly steps out into the hallway. Ryle and I both perk up and wait for the news. It's been quiet in there for the past half hour. We've been waiting to hear Eliza scream in agony, a sign she delivered, but there were no sounds at all, not even the cries of a newborn. My hands go up to my mouth and see the look on Marshall's face has me fearing the worst. His shoulders just start shaking and tears pour out of his eyes. I'm a dad. And then he punches the air. I'm a dad. He hugs Ryle and then me and says, Give us 15 minutes and you can come inside to meet her. When he closes the door, Ryle and I both release huge signs of relief. We look at each other and smile. You were thinking of the worst too? He asks. I nod and then hug him. You're an uncle, I say, smiling. He kisses my head and says, You too. Half an hour later, Ryle and I are both standing next to the bed, watching Eliza hold her new baby. She's absolutely perfect. A little too new to tell who she looks like yet, but she's beautiful regardless. You want to hold your niece? Eliza says to Ryle. He kind of stiffens up, like he's nervous, but then he nods. He leans over and puts the baby in Ryle's arms, showing him how to hold her. He stares down at her nervously and then walks over to the couch and takes a seat. Have you guys decided on a name yet? He asks. Yes, Eliza says. Riley and I both look at Eliza and she smiles, teary-eyed. We wanted to name her after someone Marshall and I both think the world of. So we added an E to your name. We were calling her Riley. I instantly look back over at Ryan and he blows out a quick breath like he's a little in shock. He looks back down at Riley and just starts smiling. Wow, he whispers. I don't know what to say. I squeeze Eliza's hand and then walk over and take a seat next to Ryan. I've had a lot of moments when I thought I couldn't love him more than I already do. But once again, I'm proven wrong. Seeing the way he looks at his new baby niece makes my heart expand. Marshall sits down on the bed next to Eliza. Did you guys hear how quiet Isa was through the whole thing? Not a single weep. Not a single peep. She didn't even take drugs. He puts his arm around her and lies down next to her on the bed. I feel like I'm in that movie, Hancock, with Will Smith, and I'm about to find out I'm married to a superhero. Ryle laughs. She's kicked my ass a time or two growing up. I wouldn't be surprised. No cussing around Riley, Marshall says. Ass, Ryle whispers to her. We both laugh, and then he asks me if I want to hold her. I make I make like I have grabby hands because Waiting for my turn has been killing me. I pull her into my arms and I'm shocked by how much love I have for her already. When are mom and dad coming in? Ryan asks Eliza. They'll be here by lunch tomorrow. I should probably get some sleep then. Just got off at just got off a long shift. He looks back at me. You're coming with? I shake my head. I want to hang out for a little while longer. Just take my car and I'll catch a cab home. He kisses me on the side of my head and then rests his head against mine as we both look down at Riley. I think we should make one of these, he says. I glance up at him, not sure if I heard him correctly. He winks. If I'm asleep when you get home later, wake me up. We'll start on it. We'll start on it tonight. He tells Marshall and Eliza goodbye, and Marshall walks him out. I glance over at Eliza, and she's smiling. I told you it want babies with you. I grind and walk back over to her bed. She scoots over and makes room for me. I hand Riley back to her, and we snuggle together on her bed and watch Riley sleep, like it's the most magnificent thing we've ever seen. And this is the end of chapter 22. So everything seems to be going on well. The flat, the job, well, her business, her successful business being recognized, Ryle getting his traineeship or like his being selected for his training. And now this little girl, this little baby entering their lives, uh, and changing Ryle's views on having on babies and on having a family. Right. So I hope again that you enjoyed this live reading and that you'll be able to join our next live discussion workshop this Saturday. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me or send me a DM on Instagram. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. In the meantime, I can't wait to see you on Saturday evening for our new live read along. We will meet live on Instagram and Zoom as always at 3 p.m. It's a different time than I had initially planned. So I will see you at 3 p.m. Central European Time to read chapters 23 and 24. Have a beautiful end of the day. Bye.